Now at 5, how a local nonprofit is celebrating the International Day of Charity. Plus, what makes a local state park located in a 4th state so unique. And a federal judge rules on former President Trump's request for a special master on the FBI search of his Mar-a-Lago home.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Today, the world celebrates the International Day of Charity. This is KOAM News at 5. The Ronald McDonald House in Joplin has served families coming to local hospitals for over 24 years now. They are part of worldwide service, and there are over 400 similar houses worldwide. The purpose is to make the families feel as they're at home, and while being close to their children and taking care of them in the hospital, the families can stay at the house for as many days as they need.
Families can stay here one night. Our families have been with us for as many as 129 nights. So it all depends, but during the time that they stay with us, we try and provide all the resources that they need.
Ronald McDonald will have their Big Red Shoe Healthy Run on September 24th. The 4 states has many interesting and beautiful places to visit, and one of those is Prairie State Park in Barton County, Missouri. It's a public recreation area encompassing nearly 4,000 acres of grasslands and woodlands. It's unique in that much of it has never been farmed or tilled in any way. Officials say preserving the land is what's important.
Prairie State Park has almost 4,000 acres of tall grass prairie. 80% or better of it, which is virgin prairie and never been plowed, which is extremely hard to find in Missouri. Historically, a third of Missouri was tall grass prairie. Now there's less than half of 1%, which is what makes this park so important.
Tonight at 6, we'll check out more of the park and hear more from officials about its importance. This week, we're taking a look at how electricity is gathered here in the 4 states. There's a number of different sources for the power that lights our homes. One of those is a hydroelectric power. The Grand River Dam Authority operates the Pensacola Dam in Langley, Oklahoma. It was constructed during the Depression and helped generate hundreds of jobs. Tonight at 6, KOAM's Chris Warner takes us inside the dam with a look at how it works for you to bring your electricity. And now Sam Lane joins us with the first look at the weather.
And Jalen, it's been a pretty warm day across the area, just a lot of clouds down to the south especially, and sunshine too. But now we're starting to see some of these clouds producing some showers and thunderstorms down to the south in Oklahoma. You can see them kind of showing up there in southern Delaware County, extending over into northwestern Arkansas. Now I'll be back in a few minutes to tell you a complete forecast, which has some pleasant changes in store, so you want to stay tuned for that.
A judge grants President Trump's request for a special master in the FBI Mar-a-Lago search, and President Biden is spending Labor Day campaigning in 2 key swing states. Natalie Brand reports from Washington, D.C.
President Biden kicked off his Labor Day with an appeal to union members as he campaigned for Democrats in Milwaukee.
The middle class built America. Everybody knows that. But unions built the middle class.
With a little more than 2 months to go before the midterm elections, the president is spending the holiday visiting 2 states with pivotal Senate races, first Wisconsin, then later Pennsylvania. The president's trip to Pittsburgh marks his 3rd visit to Pennsylvania in less than a week. It comes after his fiery primetime speech in Philadelphia Thursday.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Over the weekend, former President Trump fired back.
He's an enemy of the state. You want to know the truth?
At a rally for Republican candidates in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania Saturday, Trump called President Biden's speech hateful and divisive. He also railed against the FBI search of his Mar-a-Lago estate.
The FBI and the Justice Department have become vicious monsters, controlled by radical left scoundrels, lawyers, and the media.
Late Monday morning, a federal judge in Florida granted the former president's request for an independent third party to review the documents seized for potentially privileged material. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The judge also said the Justice Department is blocked from further review pending resolution of the special master's review process. But the federal government can continue with any national security assessments of the seized materials. A massive manhunt is underway in Canada after a stabbing spree left at least 10 people dead and 15 others wounded. It happened in and around an indigenous community in the province of Saskatchewan. Police say one of the two suspects has been found dead. Police so far don't have a motive. Sunday's stabbing is one of the deadliest mass killings in the country's history. Great Britain has a new prime minister. The Conservative Party elected Liz Truss as the head of its party and the leader of the country. Truss replaces outgoing Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who announced he was stepping down in July. In her acceptance speech, Truss praised her predecessor for pulling off Brexit and standing up to Vladimir Putin. Truss is promising conservative governing and big tax cuts, but some economists warn those may only worsen the country's soaring inflation. Still ahead, lots of money going to waste.
Americans are sitting on more than $20 billion in unused gift cards. I'm Astrid Martinez with more details on a new survey.
And next in Health Watch, what new research shows about the benefits of schools starting later. Topping today's Health Watch, teens whose parents smoke are much more likely to vape. A study in Dublin by the European Lung Foundation found young people whose parents smoke were 55% more likely to try e-cigarettes and 51% more likely to try smoking. Teens cited curiosity as the #1 reason why they tried e-cigarettes. Kids across the country are back in school, but this year some students are getting more sleep. California is the first state to require later school start times. As Michelle Medina reports, experts say the initiative should go national.
13-year-old Robert Greenway is enjoying a new routine before school, one that includes more sleep.
Last school year, it was more like get up, rush, like you're tired.
A first-of-its-kind law requires all high schools in the state to start no earlier than 8:30 and an 8 a.m. or later start for middle schools to help students get much-needed sleep.
There's zombies in the morning, and then it's very stressful to try to get them up.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends teens get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Studies show nearly 70% don't get that, increasing their risk of depression, lower grades, obesity, and suicidal thoughts.
Teenagers have a huge sleep crisis.
Dr. Sachin Panda of the Salk Institute in San Diego is a leading researcher in circadian rhythm science. His research shows a later start time has a big impact in the classroom.
They actually learned better, so their grades improved by 4.5%. The tardiness also went down, and overall teens actually felt much better about themselves.
Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey are also considering later school start times. Only about 20% of U.S. high schools start at or after 8:30 a.m., the time the AAP recommends.
How's it going? So far, so good?
Yeah, definitely. I focused like a lot more, and I just felt more productive.
An extra 30 minutes of sleep, helping Robert start the new school year off on the right foot. Nichelle Medina, CBS News, San Diego.
Critics of later school start times say the change could hit school districts with administrative and operational pressures and make extracurricular activities harder to schedule and disrupt the schedules of working parents. Having low testosterone may increase the chance of being hospitalized for COVID-19. Researchers with the Washington University School of Medicine found men with low levels of testosterone were 2.4 times more likely to become seriously ill from COVID. The risk level was reduced if men had hormone replacement therapy. Up to 1/3 of men over 30 have low testosterone levels. Monkeypox has the potential to lead to more serious heart problems. A case study by the American College of Cardiology highlighted a case where a patient developed chest tightness associated with acute myocarditis just 1 week after catching monkeypox. The patient made a full recovery, but doctors say the case will help them investigate whether there's a connection between monkeypox and more serious heart conditions. That's a look at today's top health stories. A little later, why student loan service companies are being bombarded with calls.
And there's some storms on the radar. I'll show you where those are and also what it means for the forecast coming right up. Well, your Labor Day looked like it was going to be a great day, and it has been so far with a few showers on radar, but they're down to the south, and we'll show you that in just a moment. Otherwise, it's been a pretty warm day, pretty pleasant as well with northeasterly winds for the most part. You can see on our tower cam down at the Seneca Resort with the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. You can see cumulus clouds developing here. That's with that boundary that's down in the area generating some thunderstorms. Right now in Joplin, you can see down to the south and west, you can see those thunderstorms off in the distance. We made it up to 84 today after starting out at 65, and the way it worked out was right at normal. And of course, the record's back 103 in 1998 and 44 degrees back in 1974. So it can get kind of chilly already this time of year. Rainfall amounts over the last 12 hours shows the activity that was over us last night, then moved down to southwestern parts of Missouri, dumping quite a bit of rain just to the east of Southwest City. And now we have these new showers that are developing in northwest Arkansas and Oklahoma. You can see that on radar now near Jay and extending down to the south and east, and also just south and east of Pineville, there on the Arkansas-Missouri border. But that is about it. Temperatures right now are very pleasant. Generally in the 80s, 81 in Joplin, 79 in Nevada, 80 in Stockton with those northeasterly winds. It's a little bit warmer out to the west though, where it's 89, close to 90 degrees in Independence, as well as Sedan, where they're also sitting at 89 degrees. The dew points are also down just a little bit, but still in the mid 60s across our area. You can see 70 degrees there in Jay. And so as a result, it's muggy to sticky out there. And again, we're going to see improvement over the next few days as we have drier northeasterly winds come in. The allergies, pretty bad today, 10.6 out of 12. Tomorrow, a little bit better, 10.1 out of 12. Currently in Joplin, we're sitting at 81 degrees. It feels like 83 because the dew point is 67 and the pressure is currently falling at this hour. Your forecast for tonight, mostly fair skies with just a few clouds around, temperatures in the mid 60s by tomorrow morning. And then as we go through the day, we're going to see temperatures once again in the mid to upper 80s, especially out to the west where it could get close to 90 degrees. And the chance of showers are going to be shoved further to the south. Then as we go through Tuesday night into Wednesday, again, lows in the mid 60s with easterly winds across our area. And then as we go into Wednesday afternoon, temperatures once again in the mid 80s for the most part, but 90s out towards the west, like in Coffeyville, where they'll top out at about 92 degrees. Then as we go into Thursday morning, we'll start to see again lows in the lower 60s. So we're getting a little bit of improvement with the dew points, allowing the temperature to drop to more comfortable levels. The long range forecast looks like this. We're under an area of low pressure right now. And as we go through time, this is going to start to join together as we head towards the weekend. And we're going to have an upper level low that's going to be sitting over us for a few days. And that is going to increase our rain chances as we go into next weekend. And that's a pretty good news. In fact, it's going to be like fall around here with a temperature of only 79 degrees by next Monday. That's going to feel great, but we have to get through a little bit more summer before we get to a taste of fall late in the weekend.
Yeah, I'm definitely waiting for that taste of fall. It's been a hot summer, not only here in the 4 states, but throughout the country and the world by extension.
Yeah, I think everyone's waiting for fall this year, that's for sure.
Absolutely. All right, hopefully again, those temps start to fall. Well, scientists say concern over Antarctica's Thwaites Glacier is amplifying. The glacier is one of the widest on Earth. It's larger than the state of Florida. It's nicknamed Doomsday Glacier because it's melting underwater as the planet warms and has high risk of collapse. If that happens, it could raise the global sea level by several feet, which could then lead to widespread destruction of our coastlines. And coming up, how billions of dollars are going to waste every year through unused gift cards. But first, we honor a local veteran. Zachary Williford joined the U.S. Marine Corps in 2008. The Kruenberg, Kansas native was stationed in Iraq. We salute Sergeant Zachary Williford, a 4th State hero. And to learn about other heroes or to submit a hero of your own at any time, just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Topping today's Consumer Watch, student loan service companies are being overwhelmed with refund requests after President Biden's forgiveness program. Despite the pandemic pause, many borrowers continue to make student loan payments and are wondering if they can get their money back. The answer for many is yes. While most of the 42 million people covered by the pause did not make payments, about 9 million kept paying. Many borrowers should be able to get refunds of up to $10,000 in federal student loan debt. The Internal Revenue Service is acknowledging that an error that inadvertently exposed taxpayer information on the web. The admission involves as many as 120,000 individuals who filed for 990T, often by nonprofit organizations. The IRS form is to report unrelated business income. Agency officials say they have removed the files from public view on its website and will be contacting those affected directly. Every year, billions of dollars are spent on gift cards. But as Astrid Martinez reports, a big chunk of that money often goes to waste.
Gift cards are an easy and popular present.
I have teenage granddaughters, and I don't like to shop. So therefore, I use the gift cards.
People like giving them and receiving them, but often don't use all the money. A new survey from Bankrate finds close to half of U.S. adults say they have unused gift cards, vouchers, or store credits.
Sometimes I can't find it.
When it gets real low and I know I can't buy anything, I just throw it away.
I actually have like extra gift cards left over with like $2 and everything.
And typically much more money is left behind. The average American is sitting on $175. That's up from $116 last year.
They represent real money.
Bankrate's Ted Rossman says in many cases, the money is never spent.
About a third of people have either let a gift card expire or lost a gift card. A lot of times people are just their own worst enemy. They hold on to these things too long. The store goes out of business.
There are websites like Raise, Card Cash, and Give Cash that allow you to sell the card and receive anywhere from 70 to 90% of the value in cash. Another option, give the card to someone else, even if there's a small remainder left.
You can even reload a lot of these gift cards. So even if you have one of these weird remainders like $6.23, you could actually load that up in many cases to a more socially acceptable amount and then give that as a gift.
Rossman says when you receive one, it's important to make a plan to spend it because the cards only become a gift when you use them. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, Metuchen, New Jersey.
Amazon has lost a key battle in its bid to overturn a historic union victory at a Staten Island facility. A National Labor Relations Board officer who heard Amazon's objections recommended the union vote be upheld. In April, warehouse workers at the Staten Island facility known as JFK 8 voted to form the first ever Amazon union in the U.S. The union won the vote by a margin of 523 votes out of nearly 5,000 cast. Amazon almost immediately contested the vote. As the restaurant industry tries to recover from the pandemic, it's facing a new crisis, a staff shortage in the kitchen. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the need for chefs and head cooks is far outpacing the number of students interested in those careers. The Bureau projects the need for head cooks and chefs will rise 25% by 2030, far faster than an 8% growth rate from other occupations. America's most prestigious school for chefs, the Culinary Institute of America, now accepts 97% of all applicants. And the final check of your forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at extreme weather conditions impacting nearly a third of the nation. Then on the KOAM News at 6, we'll hear more from the Ronald McDonald House as they celebrate the International Day of Charity. Plus, the Fort Scott Historic Site is giving people a chance to learn about and live during the Civil War. And we'll hear from Pitt State Volleyball after they went undefeated in the Gorilla Classic. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and the KOAM News at 6. And if you're ever on the go and you still want to be able to watch our newscast live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge on the Apple and Google Play stores, as well as Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Just search KOAM News Plus, KOAM Plus. All right, Sam, we've got some extreme weather going on in the country, but what's going on here in the four states?
We're kind of in between the extremes. We've got extreme heat in the West Coast and then flooding on the East Coast, and we're kind of in between. We're going to go back to summer just a little bit as we head through the week with drier conditions. But look at that. By the time we go into Sunday, a high of only 80 with scattered storms around, and then that continues into Monday with a high of only 79. And some of the model data indicates I may actually have it too warm. So we're looking at more fall-like conditions next week. So we just have to get through this week, and then we'll see some relief as we head towards next week.
I'm seeing an 80, a 79, and then an 80.
I know.
That looks absolutely lovely after the summer that we've had here.
Yeah.
But all right, thank you, Sam. Thank you for joining us, and your CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we'll be right back here for the KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.